Athletics. Danny White with a ton to talk about on Rocky Top. But another big week in Neyland Stadium, new baseball coach, much, much more. Danny, good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How y'all doing this morning?
We're good.
We are excellent. And you've been a busy man. Very quick process to replace Tony Vitello, hire Josh Elander, who you introduced to the media yesterday. Danny, let's start there. What did Josh Elander say to you in the interview process to prove that he was the right guy for this job?
Yeah, baseball search in October wasn't on my bingo card, but we made the best of it, and happy for Tony. Really, just a first time ever type of opportunity, and such a compliment to him and to our program for him to get that opportunity with the San Francisco Giants. But going through the process to answer your question, I think where we are as a program, I felt it was really important that we do a national search if we're going to make a permanent hire. Otherwise, we needed to have an interim and do a national search at the end of the season. With it being unique timing, we went ahead and tried it right now. But somebody needed to win the job. And if it was Josh, he needed to win the job against a competitive field. And that's what I told him. And that's exactly what he did. I think he's ready to be a head coach. He showed that to us. An assistant coach that's been at the same place for a long stint. He's been here for 8 years and working with administration. I think that can be a challenge to then interview with those same people and show them how you're ready to be the head coach and lead the program. And he certainly did that. He was really impressive. I think he's ready. The continuity will be phenomenal. And I think we're going to win a whole lot of baseball games this spring.
Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White, our guest. Danny, I've never seen so many current and former players be so all in on an assistant coach like this, and an in-house hire appear to be so universally loved by so many alumni. What feedback did you get from the leadership group of this team and from recent alumni who've played under Tony and Josh that also proved to you that he was ready for this?
Yeah, I started that meeting off with some rules of engagement that, and I knew how they were thinking about Josh. So I just said, guys, this isn't an opportunity to advocate for Coach E. I know you guys all love Coach E. This is your platform to educate me about our program. Why have we had this historic run of success the last 3-4 years from your eyes? What makes us unique? Are there challenges or areas where we can get opportunity, or areas where we can get better? All those things. And I just never want to put a student athlete in that position where they feel like they're advocating for one end game. And if that end game doesn't happen, where the place that puts them in mentally. And then also, even if it works out that way, I think it's important that they understand that this is a professional process. And if Coach E was going to win the job, then he needed to win the job. And I think that sets him up for success, not only with our team, but on the college baseball stage nationally and amongst his peers. And but it's not a song and dance type of thing. We had a very competitive process, and I feel really great about where we ended up.
We're joined by Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White this morning. When you started this job and been in this role, you've been here, I guess, before, seeing this type of process go through. But have you ever seen a baseball job be this highly sought after, have this much conversation behind it? And I'm sure there was some calls you probably had to turn down from bigger names. You ever imagine, again, baseball being this way in college?
I can imagine it. Yes, I did. I had no idea it would grow to this at Tennessee. When I took this job in January of 2021, as you all know, our baseball fan base then was not what it is today. And that was really kind of the launching spring coming out of COVID. The team that Tony put together and the run that we had really energized the fan base at a tough time for us as an athletics department. And from there, it grew really quickly, and we've been sold out the last few springs in a row, and we're sold out with a new, bigger ballpark this year, well before the season starts. So our fan base is relatively new, but excuse me, I'll put it up against anybody in the country. I think our home field advantage is absolutely phenomenal. And, SEC baseball, though, has been growing for probably going back 15 years ago, I remember was the fundraiser at Ole Miss when we built the new stadium there, and that was one of the first ballparks to add premium seating and the outfield type of environment for students, which I'd liken to in community, which I'd liken to our porches. So I think that I've seen it before. I knew what it was. I didn't know that it was at Tennessee, but we're quickly growing pretty accustomed to it. It's fun to be a part of.
It is. One thing that's fun to be a part of, too, is being a part of a school and tradition right now where winning is big. But in that, we're seeing other universities search for those same type of outcomes weekly, yearly. We're seeing a lot of coaching changes and just newness in college football, basketball, baseball, and even more so, you have the MLB come and take a coach from you. How do you balance that winning and the expectation at the University of Tennessee to where you keep your guys, and the sustainability of not having many disruptions like this moving forward?
Yeah, I feel awesome about our outcome in baseball. Having said everything I already said, Josh needed to win the job. But whether it's baseball or football or any of the sports that we have, continuity, I think, is king. And it's really hard to replace the relationships that a coach has, whether that's a head coach in football, position coaches. Continuity, I think, is a huge advantage. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of that. And then even with Tony's opportunity in baseball, we still have the rest of that staff still intact. And I feel really good about where we are from a continuity perspective. And so I'm not a believer that you could take one brand name coach, whoever that may be, and just put him in and the results that we all want just happen overnight. And we see that sometimes work, sometimes not work. I think that the work that you do as a fan base, as an athletic department, can make that same coach at that same school highly successful, or maybe not so much. And we really spend a lot of time, and a lot of our staff work really hard to give our coaches what they need to be successful. And I think that's why we're enjoying the success we're having across the board in so many sports. Not all of those coaches, most of them are not new hires to Rocky Top. They have been here, some of them for quite some time, and we're seeing programs compete year in and year out at levels we have never enjoyed before because of the things we're doing to help them. And I think we have great coaches. You guys have probably heard me say before, I'll put our roster head coaches up against anybody in the country. But it's not just that. It's also us as a fan base, as a university, getting behind them and supporting them and being unified in that effort. And really positive things can happen, and that's what we're seeing.
Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Danny, it feels like now in today's age of college athletics, it is harder to be an everything school than it's ever been before. And you have so many teams playing and competing at a championship level. What equips Tennessee to continue to be an everything school in an era where so many other universities, as you know, Danny, seemingly have to pick and choose things to major in and sports to minor in?
Yeah, we're certainly not minoring in anything. We've got 20 sports, and if they're putting that power T on their jersey, we want to win SEC and national championships in every sport that we have, and we can. To your point, to your question, we can do that because we got the best fan base in all of college athletics. In my opinion, the best fan base in all of sport. Our budget in 2021, when we all first arrived to kind of reimagine what restoring the glory at Tennessee, we were $140 million budget, which was good for if Texas and Oklahoma had been in the league, we would have been 10th in the conference. And today we're over 300. We've more than doubled our budget on the strength of our fan base. That's selling out Neyland Stadium, selling out the Food City Center at Thompson Bowling Arena, that's selling out Lindsey Nelson Stadium, Sherry Parker Lee, our softball stadium. They're all sold out for the season. And in that same time frame, we've grown to number one in concession sales, number one in apparel sales in college sports. Our sponsorship numbers have doubled. This is all a direct result of the passion of Vol Nation and how our fans support us. And that allows us to reinvest into our programs at a really high level. We don't have to pick and choose. I'm very confident that, being a little bit lean and mean, we don't have 35 sports. We got 20. And having the second or third highest budget in America now, we can support all of them relative to their marketplace and their sport. We can support all of them at a championship level.
Well, Danny, talking more about other things, kind of like baseball, like Ramon mentioned, that you could never believe it would get to this level. I think a lot of folks never thought they'd see a day where there was a sold-out exhibition basketball game in October in Thompson Bowling Arena as well. And you had that over the weekend against Duke. Just with the ambassador that Rick Barnes has been, with the new energy that Kim Caldwell brings as you begin this winter season with basketball as well, just how excited are you? What are you most excited about, maybe I should say, about those two programs and the level of excitement you have in a sport that obviously with the Lady Vols tradition has been a blue blood program, is the standard of women's basketball, and a coach with a lifetime contract continuing to evolve and to grow with college athletics and Rick Barnes?
Yeah, it was a fun night. We have this overlap going on with football, and then obviously a baseball search. So I think I was running on fumes, but opening up the new Riverside Club in the arena, the new Jumbotron that I think really just drastically enhances the fan experience, and the sound system was needed, and it's just awesome. It's gonna be fun to see what we can do with that building. But to see that happen in October was unique. It felt like an Elite Eight game. The intensity both teams were playing with on the court. But so excited about both of our basketball teams. Kim has done an absolutely phenomenal job. I think she's going to be special. Already is with what she did in year one. Bringing in some new players to fit her system and really making it work with the existing players who embraced a new style of play and just an innovative, aggressive way of playing women's basketball that's fun to watch, it's fun to play in. And then she's doubled down on that with elite recruiting and transfer portal activity. Our fans are going to see one heck of a women's basketball team this year, and they're going to be sprinting up and down the court. It's going to be like a track meet. And obviously Rick he's just such a joy to work with, and unbelievable person and leader, continues to bring high character kids in our program that represent us with such class. It's a phenomenal culture, and most importantly for winning basketball games, they're talented as heck, and they work as hard or harder than anybody in the country. So I think both teams will be set up to make deep runs and be highly competitive on the court.
AD Danny White with us. You're also competitive. You hooped yourself. So these type of moments, listen, these type of moments right here, as far as handling these coaching searches, or not just that, this upcoming weekend, there's a big game in Knoxville. We're talking about a night game. Where the PR group that released the video gave me chills on the night game, just visuals, okay? Do you find yourself having to calm down in these moments and just say, hey, let me get the shaking hands and kissing babies out the way and go watch this damn football game? Is that where you are on Saturdays?
I do, and I get worse for football because, as you know, Ramon, there's just not that many games. They all mean so much. That's what makes college football special. We're trying to get back to the playoff and make a run, and they're all so meaningful. And I know what everyone's put into it, and so I have that weighing on me. You know, student athletes, coaching staff, everybody. And as the AD, I don't really get to be a part of, competing in the game. Our coaches know the game plan. They're in it. The players, I think that they're calmer than I am. I'm just kind of the guy that wants it so badly that on the periphery, just hoping. I do struggle with that when I'm on the pregame show with you guys and getting around seeing people before the game, because I'm definitely not without nerves or a little bit of just energy, mostly positive about the upcoming game. But yeah, we want to win, and I tell our coaches all the time, if you find another administration as competitive as we are, I'd like to meet them, and that's our fundraising staff, that's our our business office. Everybody needs to come into our office every single day with a competitive mindset on how we can position our coaches to be successful. Because it's those every single day decisions and how hard we push the envelope with our business enterprise that allows us to win at a high level.
Is that why the former athlete part of you, why you so open with the fan base? Because they come at you on social media about whether there's interests coming into the stadium, but you never shy away from that. And I'm not sure if I see many ADs answering questions in real time about big issues when it comes down to, hey, we got to get this fixed or this could be better. Is that because of your athletic history and how you respond to those type of moments?
Yeah, and I think that's also just a part of leadership. When we make mistakes, we got to own it. And that I think you're referencing the Georgia game. We didn't handle that well, and a lot of it was outside of our control. We had some safety protocols. There's obviously the tragedy in New Orleans at the Super Bowl, and it's getting harder and harder to manage large events. And we will make sure we're doing everything possible, and we have great people focused on the safety of our fans to come into all of our venues. And then we had some changes in the stadium, and none of that is an excuse. We didn't have a plan that worked, and I think our fans needed to hear that we saw and agree it's completely unacceptable and it can't happen again, and it won't. But I owe it to our fans to listen to them, and I want to hear their perspective. I want to make sure they're having an unbelievable experience, and I think we've done a lot to lift the game day experience. Alicia Longworth has done a phenomenal job as our CMO on our staff, really since she got here shortly after my arrival, adding all the things we do in Neyland to make it a great game day experience. And I'm really excited about all the things we'll be able to do in the arena this year with the new tools we have. Our fan experience folks are excited about the new Jumbotron and sound system and the things we can do to create just an awesome experience that you can't replicate in the man cave. You come into our games, it's got to be special. We owe that to our fans.
No doubt. I will say also, too, we've kind of bumped into each other on the road, specifically in Alabama when I was in your box. Didn't expect you that early. I figured you'd be out taking phone calls, but I appreciate you lending us your room for the time that you were away from it.
No question. It was great to see you guys.
No doubt.
I love it. Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White has been our guest this morning. Danny, I know it is always busy in the world of college athletics. Really appreciate the time this morning. Thanks so much.
No question, guys. Thanks for having me. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Yes, sir. Danny White with us here this morning, hitting a number of topics, a number of sports. Good stuff there that we'll continue to react to as the show continues.